Assistant Professor in Department of General Surgery, Sree Balaji Medical College, and I have an experience of 4 years of teaching along with 8 publications to my credit. So today our topic is going to be on a view of biopsy. So what is biopsy and what do we do about in biopsy, especially FNAC and in true cut biopsies. So we have various principles during biopsy, and the objectives of this class will be dealt with during the session. So what is biopsy? The definition of biopsy is nothing but a removal of tissue which is for diagnostic examinations. So why do we do this biopsy? This biopsy helps us in giving the diagnosis of the lesion that we are dealing with, whether it's a benign one or a malignant one. So it stays as a gold standard for us. So what does it do? It provides us with histopathological, cytological and microbiological informations, which helps us in curating the treatments for the patient. So where do we do this and why do we do this? Which we deal with indications of biopsy. Biopsy helps in confirming the diagnosis of a suspected lesion, whether it is a benign one or a malignant one. And the second one, it helps us in characterizing the tumor. What is the nature of the tumor, which is being given by the biopsy. And it also helps in guiding the treatment plan for the patient. And after you take the biopsy, after you plan the treatment for the patient, it can also help in evaluating the response of the therapy that you have just given to the patient. So what are the principles of this biopsy? Principles of biopsy is nothing but there are various kinds of biopsy, and we always have to choose the least invasive ones the first. Least invasive ones and also the safest ones, which is preferable for the patient. So where do we do this biopsy? Any lesion, any suspected lesions that we have to do a dilemma where it's a benign one or malignant one, we have to employ a technique of biopsy. So we always avoid necrotic sites, which is always present in any lesion. And after taking a biopsy, we should make sure it is adequate sample is maintained. So various lesions have various number of biopsies that we need to take. So we have to maintain this adequate sample size for each biopsies. And always avoid the contaminating surrounding areas, which may be of an infective foci. So after taking a biopsy, make sure it is neatly labeled and it is documented, and also make sure you handle the tissue very, very gently. So what are all the types of biopsies that we do? There are various types, namely excisional one, excisional biopsy, incisional biopsy, core needle biopsy, fine needle aspiration cytology, punch biopsy, shave biopsy, an image guided biopsy, and an endoscopic biopsy. So we will be learning about each one of these. So what is excisional biopsy? The name as such tells you we excise the lesion in toto, where we use it for very small and for benign looking lesions. It also provides us with the entire specimen for analysis, which is both diagnostic and therapeutic for us. So next comes incisional biopsy. Incisional biopsy, it only removes a part of the lesion which is being sent for the histopathological examination, and which gives us the clue regarding the nature of the tumor, so that we can curate a treatment plan for the patient. It is usually used for large and malignant lesions, and usually we avoid areas of necrosis as we saw in the principles. So what is this core needle biopsy? Core needle biopsy is the most commonly employed method for us, where we deal with a large number of lumps in the breast or in any organs that we are dealing with. So what do we do it? Using a core needle, we biopsy the site with a hair, which gives us the tissue that is needed for the studying purposes. It also provides us the architecture of the tissue, which is more accurate than an FNAC, and this tissue can be subjected for even hormonal studies in case of breast carcinomas. It is usually used in breast, prostate, liver, and in lymph nodes. Next comes fine needle aspiration cytology. This is again a very commonly employed method, which is very safe and very quick, and which is usually employed where lesions are present in thyroid, breast, or in the lymph nodes. So how do we do it? It is a very minimally invasive method where we take the cells as a aspiration, and it is subjected to cytology. The main drawback of this is we only get the cells which is employed for cytology, and we do not get the tissue as such. So we do not know the characteristic nature of the tumor, and sometimes it cannot differentiate between a benign or a malignant one. So that is the drawback of this FNAC, but still it is widely used for diagnosis of many lesions. Next comes your punch and shave biopsy, which is mainly employed only in dermatological conditions. Punch biopsy, where we take a biopsy from the skin lesions as such, usually a skin malignancy, and shave biopsy, where we just shave off the epidermal and the dermal layers, and then it is subjected for histopathological examination, again most commonly used in dermatological conditions. Next comes your image guided biopsy. Image guided biopsy is where you cannot palpate a lesion, or when the lesion is very subcentimetric, which cannot be palpated by your hands, where we employ an image like an ultrasound, CT or an MRI, which guides us directly to the lesion so that we do not produce maximum risk to the patient. So through this needle, with the help of an ultrasound, is guided into the lesion, and we take a biopsy out of it, and then we employ it into histopathological examinations. This is usually used in large organs like a liver, lung or a retroperitoneal organ. The last is one, the endoscopic biopsy. As the name suggests, endoscopy. So during endoscopy, when we find any suspicious lesion, whether it is a benign one or a malignant one, when we want to have a particular diagnosis for that, we introduce a biopsy needle through the endoscope and we take a biopsy out of it. It can again be a punch biopsy or a brush cytology, which helps us in identifying the nature of the tumor. So where do we use it? We use it in GI tract, bronchus and bladder and uterus. So any biopsy or anything that we do produces complications for the patients. So the main complications for a biopsy is bleeding and the pain. This bleeding can be arrested on the site, and pain can be relieved with the help of analgesics or anesthesia. The third one is infection. So since you are entering into a tissue, there is always a risk of infection. So we have to make sure we do it in an antiseptic measure. The third one is sampling error, where we do not get adequate samples for study purposes. The last one is a rare one, where the needle tracking or seeding of the area, where the biopsy needle, wherever the needle is introduced, that track is seeded with the lesion that we are dealing with. So we have to make sure that we employ the correct techniques for the correct lesions so that we prevent this complications of the biopsy. So to summarize, biopsy is always a cornerstone for any diagnosis of whether a benign or a malignant lesion. So what type of biopsy we do depends upon the location of the lesion, then the characteristics of the lesions, and our clinical suspicion. So accurate technique always ensures reliable histopathology, and we can curate a proper treatment plan for the patient. So that brings us to the end of the session, and I hope to meet you guys in another session.